Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is a video that I really didn't expect to make under these circumstances, but you guys see the title and you know where this is going. A couple months back, I did a video in a series called YouTube 101, which was all about starting a YouTube channel and stuff like that. And in those videos, I did have a lot of tips and tricks for how to manage staying on task when you're being your own boss. And that kind of translates to today's topic, which is some tips and tricks to how to be the most efficient you can possibly be when you are working from home. It's something that I've been doing for a while now, and I'm finally feeling like I'm really getting into a routine, and there are some hurdles I had to overcome. But since so many people are on social distancing and quarantine and all of these fun and scary words, I figured this would be the best time to give you guys some of my top tips and tricks for how to stay efficient when you are unexpectedly, or even if it was planned, working from home. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching, and please don't forget to subscribe because I do upload 3-ish times a week. That's going to be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So if you want to get some of my insight, learn a little bit from my mistakes, and see some of my go-to tips for staying the most productive you possibly can while working from home, stay tuned. So I honestly was going to make a list and plan everything I was going to say, and honestly I find when I do that I hate editing the footage because I feel like it's so scripted and I don't like that. So today I'm just going to kind of go through, there's no order, there's no number, I'm just going to give you guys some tips and tricks, and please sound off down below if you have anything I missed, or even if you can give me some advice, because I've only been working from home, exclusively from home. I mean, I've been running my own YouTube channel for almost 3 years. But I've been exclusively working from home for about 4 months now. So while to a lot of people this is new for them to have to figure out that work-life balance, this is going to be something that I've learned in the past 120 days or so. And the first thing is going to be, if possible, give yourself a dedicated workspace. This is something I picked up when I started my channel in the very beginning. And my studio was not in my bedroom, it was not in my living room, I had a separate private area. So the guest room in my house is my studio. So there's a bed over there that actually right now as we're speaking, Brandon is taking a nap because he was sitting talking with me while I was getting ready, and next thing I realized he was sleeping. So this is a room that I come into when I'm filming, when I'm editing, when I'm doing any and all of my YouTube stuff, because having a dedicated workspace helps keep me focused. Yes, I bring my phone in here when I'm filming because when you work, you have your phone next to you, but what I used to do is I try editing from the couch, or I would film in another location, and I found I was so much less productive than when I sit down in my filming studio to film and edit and post and do any and all of my YouTube related things. It makes it so much easier to work here. In addition to YouTube, I do have another job that I do also from home, and when I'm doing that, I actually set up at the island in my kitchen. I will insert a picture right now of my mini workstation. Right now there's not much there because I'm literally just working off my laptop. But sitting in that space, I'm not on the couch, I'm not getting distracted in Netflix, I'm really trying to make sure I am working. And that's gonna be the best way to stay focused on what you're doing, because if you're working in bed or on the couch or really just hanging out, it makes it feel so much more informal that it feels hard to get things done, at least in my opinion. That leads to the second tip. And for me, that's gonna be get ready in the morning. For the first couple weeks when I was exclusively working from home, the hardest part of my day was realizing that by 1 o'clock, I had barely started with what I wanted to get done, and I was still in basketball shorts and a t-shirt. Not that that's not an appropriate outfit, but I would get out of bed, throw that on, and start working. Force yourself to shower, get ready, whether it's doing your hair, putting on your makeup, doing what you normally would do if you were going out to work, just gets you out of the mindset of, I'm home and it's my day off. I know that for a lot of people, that is gonna be the biggest moment in your day. It's taking that time to get ready, because that's what's gonna kick you in gear and say, all right, I'm done, I took a shower, I got dressed, and now I'm ready to get about my work. Just because you're sitting on the couch or in your kitchen or at your dining room table, you're still working. So giving that impression is gonna make your life so much easier. That was a tip that I actually got when I was talking to a career counselor back when I was in college. This is probably 10 years at this point, if not longer, that I was on the in a meeting about a conference call interview that I had coming up. And if you have a web-based interview, or you have a conference call or an interview over the phone, the hardest thing to do is to be able to shift into that professional mindset. So I had a professional interview. I put on a suit. Like, I got ready as if I was going to the interview, and I felt like I was on. I felt like I was ready to go, and that it just put me in that work mind space. You could do the same thing if you're working from home. No, I don't think you need to go put on a suit and sit at your dining room table. That's a little excessive. But taking the time to get out of your comfy pajamas and get into something a little bit more formal, or somewhere in between the suit and the basketball shorts, that's gonna help you stay productive. Tip number 3 is gonna be make sure that you are working like in time frames. So another thing that's difficult to do is establish work-life balance when you're working from home. Something I like to do is, this is the time I start in the morning, I take this time for a break, this is when I'm done at the end of the day. And you can definitely be flexible with that. Like, I didn't want to, correction, I did not plan to film this video today, but it's something that I felt I needed to do. So rather than, I was originally going to work until about 3 o'clock, then I was gonna do some other projects. It is currently, well, now it's 4:15 because I filmed 2 videos already. But I figured I'm gonna unplug from roughly 2 to 5, and then later tonight from about 6 to 9, I was gonna get more work done. I like having a little bit more of that flexible schedule, so I do like to make sure that I'm taking time to work on whatever projects I'm most inspired by. And that just helps me stay more productive. But for me, I know that that works. If you find that you have to work your 9 to 5 day with a 35-minute break in the middle for lunch, do it. Do whatever structure you find you need to do to be successful. For me, that is taking that time to work on the project I'm inspired by. This morning, I was working on a project for a client, and I was super into it. I banged that out in 2.5 hours, sent it off, and I was like, all right, what do I want to do now? I want to film a video. So I shifted gears, I sat down, I started filming, and when I'm done with this, I'm going to wash my face, I'm going to take a shower, I'm going to get dinner ready, and then I'm going to get some more work done and work on a different project. And then when I wake up tomorrow, Thursdays are usually my studio day. I've already filmed, so I'm going to edit in the morning and then do some other projects depending on what I'm feeling. But if you feel like you need flexibility, stay flexible. If you feel like you need a rigorous, rigid schedule, stick to that. Only you know how you're productive. So use this as an opportunity to figure that out, and don't say, you know, if I work from 9 to 5, I'm going to do that today because that's what I used to do at work. If that's not what works for you, don't do that. That is the main benefit of working from home, is that you have the flexibility. Get your work done, put your time in, but don't feel like you have to plug in for these hours Monday through Friday, and that's it. And the last tip I'm going to give you guys, which is kind of encompassing a lot of different things, and this has to do with the sudden additional coworkers, as I'm going to call them. Whether it's your spouse or your kids or the additional people around the house, I'm used to working from home, and I usually don't have Brandon here when I'm working. So that has already, in like the 2 days that he's been home, been a little bit of a challenge, not because there's an issue or because like us being in the same space is difficult, but just having another person does change your routine. Like I said, I'm filming a video right now and he is right there. Well, he's up now, but 5 minutes ago he was totally taking a nap. That is something that's very different, and maneuvering having your kids around. Really make sure that you keep that level of structure. So as of right now, Brandon taking a nap, totally in his workload, what he needs to do, that's absolutely fine. Gives me my me time and it works for me. But this morning, he was watching a movie while I was working on a project. Totally having that separate space is okay. But that's also something you need to be comfortable with. From like the second week we started dating, we spent a lot of time together. He basically moved in right away. Not exactly, he had his own place. Mine was just nicer. But because we spent so much time together, very early on we established something called date night, which is a night where we do our own things in opposite rooms of the house, and that's how my YouTube channel was born. We needed our space, we needed a night, not a night off, but like he was gonna watch a hockey game and I was gonna play with makeup. Next thing I know, I'm filming videos and the rest is history, but all of that came out of the fact of setting some boundaries. So when I'm done with this and I start working on a project tonight, he'll probably be working on something else, but we will make sure to set that established space. As long as you and your partner, spouse, significant other, roommate, kids, you just need to respect the boundaries. So I know that's going to be harder with children, and I completely understand that that is an obstacle I don't have to deal with, and I almost said fortunate, but you're not unfortunate for having kids. There's just less obstacles. You know what I mean. Having just me and Brandon in the house does make it easier because I'm not struggling with also feeding and homeschooling, if that's what you're choosing to do, or just keeping your children from ripping each other's head off because they're home for a long period of time without entertainment because you can't go out. That being said, make sure that you are setting some form of structure for them too, because that's what's going to help you to focus on structuring for yourself. That was very long-winded, but I think you get what I'm going for. I hope this helped. Sound off down below. We're all kind of feeling through this a little bit more than we expected, and this is new for a lot of people. Again, I'm used to working from home, but I'm not used to doing it with Brandon around. So there's going to be some growing pains, so leave your tips and tricks down below. Start a conversation. I will be in and out of the comments to make sure that I am sharing and learning from you guys, because I say this in like every video. What you guys say usually, either if it's about makeup, triggers what I'm going to talk about in future videos, or in this case, might give me that little nugget of what I need to be able to make this so much more efficient. Thank you guys so much. Stay safe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.